We're live now to Hong Kong, and the Assistant Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg, joins us. Assistant Treasurer, thanks for your time. You're there at the Asian Financial Forum. One proposal that you want to see implemented is a pan-Asian passport for business leaders. Talk me through it.
Well, what we want to do is to enable funds managers from Australia to be able to market their products into the region, but also to allow funds managers from the region to market their products here in Australia, and that would give us greater choice. Look, we've got a number of the regional countries who are on board to this. It came out of the 2009 Johnson report into the financial system, and it's one way of building further integration. I must say, Kieran, it's an exciting time to be here in Hong Kong and Asia more broadly because China is starting to open its capital account. We're establishing an RMB clearing bank in Sydney. We have now just seen the connection between the Shanghai and the Hong Kong stock exchanges. The Australian-China Free Trade Agreement is giving, for the first time, significant access into the insurance and banking market for Australian companies. And of course, Chinese investment continues to flow into Australia. So that's all good news for our economy.
I want to ask you about a couple of issues. The Treasurer yesterday talked about the ageing demographic, used the possibility of a child born today living to 150. Now, he's faced some criticism from Labor. They've described it as his Sarah Palin moment. What do you make of the comments, the criticism to the Treasurer as well on that? Did he overstretch it there?
No, the Treasurer was making an extremely important point, which is that Australia faces a demographic time bomb. Today we have 5 working Australians for every single retired Australian. But as the Commission of Audit pointed out, that ratio falls to 2.7 to 1 by mid-century. This means that our health and our ageing budgets could be half of total government expenditure by mid this century. That's an enormous burden for the taxpayer to carry, and we need to take that into account when we start to try to get the structural changes to our economy, when we try to pay back Labor's debt, and that's why it is just so important that we're not stifled in the Senate from this budget repair job.
A number of your colleagues, backbenchers, are still skittish even over the $5 co-payment. They reported today saying they want that scrapped as well. This comes after 2 backflips in as many months from the government on Medicare reform.
Well, look, Susan Lee's going to continue to negotiate and to hold discussions with key stakeholders in the health space about a whole series of reforms that could take place. But the underlying point is that Medicare needs to be sustainable into the long term. We have a Medicare bill which was $8 billion to the taxpayer 10 years ago, $20 billion today, $34 billion in a decade's time, and we're only raising half the cost of Medicare from the Medicare levy. So we do need to look at an issue like a price signal, and Labor is hugely duplicitous and contradictory in their positions because they've always supported a price signal on the PBS, and as we know, Bob Hawke put one up on Medicare himself.
Now, the Treasurer yesterday spoke about the issue of bracket creep, that Middle Australia is going to be paying half their income to the tax man. Is he paving the way here for a more substantial debate and push on the GST to broaden the revenue base?
Look, we're going to do a comprehensive tax white paper. We've said we've got no plans to increase the GST or broaden the rate, but we do need to look at our overall tax mix. In terms of the OECD countries, we have one of the highest reliances on income and corporate tax. In fact, just 10 companies pay 1/3 of our corporate tax, and of course we rely extremely heavily on income tax. So we need to look at this issue going forward. The Treasurer was making an important point about bracket creep, and the Commission of Audit also underlined this, that if you've got someone on minimum wage today, they may pay a marginal tax rate of 19 cents in a dollar. That goes in just a few years' time to 32.5%. But if you actually have somebody who's on an average wage, they're paying 32.5 cents in the dollar. They'll move in just a few years' time to a high bracket of 37 cents in the dollar. And this is not good for the economy because it's taking away from their disposable income, which helps to breed consumption and also jobs.
Josh Frydenberg, thanks so much for joining us live from Hong Kong this morning. Appreciate it. Chat to you soon.
Thanks very much, Kev. Bye.
A quick